Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Bilal Abdul Kareem for On the Ground News. And we are in a location, and I have been asked not to reveal this exact location, but I wanted to give everybody an idea in terms of how the rebel fighters have been countering the Russian aggression, which has seen the deaths of countless civilians here in Syria. What they have done is they have taken to digging trenches and taking up residence in areas just like this one. Now, I want to show you a little bit of it. This is actually underneath a bridge. What we have here, basically, it's a house, but it's under a bridge. So therefore, even if it lands, or one of the rockets lands, it won't affect them. In addition, they've taken to digging trenches basically all over the country. Some of them are pretty big and some of them are really quite small. However, when you do hear a plane coming, as we're hearing a plane coming now, when it gets closer and you feel that there's going to be an attack, you can just jump right underneath here or into the trench and you can cover yourself. Every few minutes in this area, you hear the sounds of planes. Now, when the plane actually comes, generally speaking, you'll hear it scream overhead. And when that happens, you'll notice a lot of people look up. But what a lot of the fighters do when they hear that, they go from here and they jump down into here. Because if it lands anywhere outside of just this immediate area, you just get down here below ground, and even if it lands close by, it still won't affect you. Okay, up here is one of the places that is just less than a kilometer away from the Syrian regime. And we can't all go up at the same time. We've got about 4 or 5 of us with us. We can't go up at the same time, so we're going to have to go one by one so that they don't become suspicious and then fire on our position. So we'll see. Okay, after running up the mountain, what we have here is a fortified position. Basically, it's built into the land itself. As you can see right over here, this is what it would look like without this. Now, if you can come a little closer, you have the sandbags here, and this room right here basically is where they sleep, they lay their weapons. And the wall right here, if we'll quickly go there, because this part can be seen by the regime. You see, you have the rocks here. So this is what a fortified position looks like when you're facing off against the Syrian army. Okay, we just in this direction is where the regime can see these positions. And there's a very open area right here. It's small, but it can easily be hit by a sniper or other weapons that they have there. So let's go and check out these 2 rooms. I'm going to go first. You come behind me. In this room, it's mostly made of rock. So this was a small cave. So in the event of Russian air support, this would be a very, very safe place, relatively speaking, of course, to wait out the bombardment. The ceiling right here is made of wood and some aluminum and metal. But generally speaking, in the absence of a direct hit, it would be pretty easy for the occupants of this room to survive. Just make sure you get a good shot of the walls here. These are all ways that the rebels have been able to not lose territory in spite of a fierce Russian bombardment. see, walls are made of stone, and the sandbags, all of this is to protect them from the Russian bombardment and even from the Syrian army. Just to give you an idea of the work that goes into these things, as you can probably hear the sounds of the bombs going off in the background, but there was a tree here. You can see the roots. If you look on this side, you can see where there was rock. Now, keep in mind, there are no bulldozers coming up here. That's done by way of things like this and shovels and other primitive tools, because this is not an area that's easy for any type of heavy equipment to come to basically come to the rescue. So when you see these areas, these are not ready-made areas where you just need a shovel. The rock actually has to be broken and bagged and taken and thrown into other places. So there's a lot of work that goes into building these safe places. We're now in one of the rooms that overlooks the positions of the Syrian Arab army. So inside of this room, as you can see, again, where they have their bed, this is a 24-hour 7-day-a-week position. These positions have been attacked several times in a 24-hour span in some cases. So this is a well sought after position. And these soldiers here have been able to withstand barrel bombs and rockets and the exchange of fire. We have one person here who I'd like to speak to. أريد أن أقول لك السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
كيف الوضع هنا في هذا المكان؟
الحمد لله الأخوة مع كل هذا البرد وكل هذا القصف، والعدو مثل ما تعرف يملك طيران روسي واستطلاع وغيره، إلا أنهم ولله الحمد صابرون ومربطون في سبيل الله.
وكيف الوضع عند المطر؟ لأن for several days there's been a very heavy rain. So كيف الوضع في المطر؟
الوضع في المطر صعب جدا، يعني كما ترى الأرض خصبة طين وحجارة، فالأخ لا يستطيع أن يصعد، وإذا صعد لا يريد النزول.
Written right here on this box of ammunition, it says that the supplier is JSC Rosvoronezhsk Port, Russia. So these fighters here take great pride in the fact that as long as Russia is going to be sending in weapons and supplies, they're going to take them from them and use them against their enemy, Bashar al-Assad.